Will the government deliver on motorcycle insurance? In this video, I'm taking a quick look at the cross-government task force on motor insurance. Should we all hold our breath as we look forward to lower motorcycle insurance premiums? Before July's general election, Louise Haigh, the then Shadow Transport Secretary, and now already ex-Transport Secretary, said the UK's drivers are being punished by the out-of-control cost of cover. She was quoted as saying, "Car insurance is not a luxury but a legal requirement, and it is completely unaffordable for millions of drivers." My first knee-jerk reaction was, here we go again, no mention of motorcycle insurance.
You're forgetting something.
The Labour Party manifesto did include the issue, but it just said Labour will further support drivers by tackling the soaring cost of car insurance. Still no recognition of motorcyclists. Insurance is a legal requirement for us motorcyclists too, you know. And I suspect we are suffering to a greater degree than car drivers. So I contacted the powers that be and I asked for explicit confirmation that motorcycle insurance will be within scope for the task force. Now it may seem pedantic, but we know from experience that it is unwise to make assumptions.
Assumption makes an ass out of you.
I did get a private confirmation, yes, motorcycle insurance is in scope. But there remains no mention of this fact in any of the news documentation or reports linked to the story. Given the government's openly stated will to reduce car usage, this fight against rising insurance costs has all the hallmarks of a vote-grabbing trick. Surely higher insurance costs are just the kind of stick that the government secretly wants so that it can meet its climate change targets. Questioning the rocketing costs of motoring could be seen by a cynic such as me as a manifestation of unprincipled populist politicians making false promises to the great unwashed.
Don't trust any of these politicians.
My cynicism about motives is also backed up by the subtle changes in pre-election rhetoric and post-election action. Before the election, Haigh promised to refer the industry to the FCA and CMA. So that's the Financial Conduct Authority and the Competition and Markets Authority. She said we will urgently call in the regulators to crack down on any unfair practices and to come clean on the causes of soaring costs for consumers. But the post-election action, when it came, was the formation of a task force which includes the insurance industry. This subtle shift was picked up by the Association of Consumer Support Organisations, the ACSO. Matthew Maxwell Scott is the ACSO's Executive Director. What he said was, "It is regrettable that the promised Competition and Markets Authority / Financial Conduct Authority investigation, which would have been properly independent, has been shelved in favour of a largely industry-led approach. It seems strange to ask the ABI, that's the Association of British Insurers, to be at the centre of an investigation into its own members' pricing behaviour." I couldn't agree more. The ABI published its roadmap to tackle insurance costs in February of 2024, before Louise Haigh made her vote-bait comments. Taking a critical look at the ABI's 10 recommendations, I can't say that I see much cause for optimism there. For example, point 2 of their 10-point plan is to combat vehicle theft. They claim to be exploring a partnership with the police to aid in the recovery of stolen vehicles from the ports. Allegedly, a pilot would, note the use of the future tense here, allegedly a pilot would fund the additional police presence at ports where stolen vehicles are shipped abroad. Are they not already doing it? This strikes me as the language of a body pretending that theft is a new problem. Has it really just occurred to them that insurance claims come in because vehicles have been stolen? Why has the insurance industry not been doing this before now? As the ACSO has pointed out, premiums have shot up in recent years, yet insurers still claim they are making losses. The ACSO have said that complaints to the Financial Ombudsman Service are also at record levels, and fears over the loss of no claims bonuses and high future premium prices mean many go out of their way to avoid using the product they are paying such a high price for. I've heard stories of bikers not reporting thefts to avoid being hit with vastly higher insurance premiums. They are literally paying for the insurance only to cover up their need to make a claim. It's a shocking reality we are living with. The FCA itself says claims costs are down, suggesting fewer claims are being made. Apparently personal injury claims numbers are also down sharply, but it is unclear whether any of the savings from this are being passed on to us consumers. I think we are pretty clear that they're not. The ACSO also say that record costs mean many drivers are going uninsured or underinsured. Uninsured claims costs are, of course, passed on to those of us that do pay for insurance. A full independent investigation would provide some reassurance, but whilst that was promised, it doesn't look like that's what we're getting. A contact told me that ultimately insurers charge what they want. It's a closed market. I'm sure that the insurance industry want this to be a cosy, insurer-led conversation, which will result in a nothing to see here outcome in a year or two when they finally issue a bland, meaningless report. So no, I am not holding my breath. But what do you think? Has the now ex-Transport Secretary set us up for good news? Or is it just going to be more frustration?